Hey guys, so today I wanted to test out, trying to start a new series about camper life top 5. So I'm going to do some things around the top 5 reasons why we do this or we do that. Just want to kind of see where this goes, how it works out. A little bit shorter videos just to kind of get some ideas out there, get some feedback and so forth. So in this first video that I'm going to do, it is why my wife and I want to get into full-time RV living. And I'm sure this is a question that a lot of people get when they first tell their friends, family they're going into full-time RV living. In my case, some people have taken it, hey, this is great, do what you want to, do what makes you happy. Then other people's like, wow, that's kind of weird, almost like they think you're going to be homeless or something because you're choosing to live in an RV, which many of you know, especially if you see some of the pictures and, look at RVs, you'll see that some of them are probably nicer than most of the houses we live in. But for us, this is our top 5 reasons. So with that getting started, or with that being said, I will now get started. And I will start off with, we like to travel. So my wife and I, we both like to travel. We both want to see everything. We both want to get out and experience different, different areas, different cultures. And I myself already do a lot of traveling for work. So, based on that, it has sparked my interest in travel. I've traveled across the country, travel up north, down south, a little bit of everywhere, working as a consultant, doing different stuff for, most of the time, different hospitals that I'm working in. And, by doing that, I always love it. But the downside of that is my family can't go. My wife a lot of times can't go. I have to leave my pets at home. And with having an RV, now I won't have to do that. So, that's just some of the general reasons why we want to get into it. For me too, I've moved around a lot as a kid. My family moved a lot. We stayed generally around the same areas, but we moved around in different places with it. I moved around as I got out from my parents' home. I moved around a lot. My wife and I did when we first got started. And it's just something that we've always kind of liked doing, seeing different areas, being around different places. So, so that's probably one of our big things. Don't want to be tied down to just one location, one place. It's fun to go out and see and do different stuff, see new things, see, new culture, see how different areas live differently than where we're from, which is here in the Appalachian Mountains of East Tennessee. And again, there's nothing against the area that I live in. I feel like I probably live in one of the prettiest areas in the country. Definitely one of the heaviest camper areas in the country, being right here at the foot of the Appalachian Mountains. But, still we want to go see other stuff, do different stuff, see different things. So, with that said, that's kind of, we like to travel. That's our one of the first things that, we looked at. And these are not in any order. So as I go through them, I don't mean one's better than the other, but just kind of the top 5 reasons. So with that said, now I will get into the 4th, counting backwards. So just a simpler lifestyle. As I stated, right now it's hard because when I travel by myself, I am by myself, and typically I'm flying, so I'm having to unpack clothes. Again, I have to leave the animals behind. My wife can't go. A lot of times, I've got 2 older kids. They're not really interested in travel. They like this area. They want to stay right here. So, with that, now with this new setup, if I have to travel to a client work site, then, hey, I can bring, my wife and the pets. We can all come and hang out, see the area. Don't have to, don't have all that pressure of, trying to pack, trying to unpack. Oh, did I forget something? Did I forget my medication? Did I forget, whatever the case may be. So, I just think this will create for me a lot less stress. Won't have to rush in and out of an area right now. A lot of times now I travel out on a Monday and travel back on a Thursday. And, I kind of lose that. And these clients that I travel to, a lot of times, I'm traveling back and forth over, 6, 7 month periods. So, obviously I can go work at these sites and work there. Or if we want to go somewhere else and travel, at that point. So, say I'm working in, right now I'm in West Virginia. So say I'm working in West Virginia, but we're down in Florida, then, I can travel up and, they'll cover that just the same way as they would if I leave from Tennessee and go to West Virginia. So, it's not going to create any difference if I'm not in that work area, but it also makes it a lot more convenient when I am. And for me, this just matches up with my preferred outdoor lifestyle. I love being outdoors. I like, hiking trails. I like going for walks, runs, whatever the case may be, taking the animals for walks. So it matches up well to what I want to do and how I want to live. And the same for my wife. She's very outdoorsy as well. So, for both of us, it just kind of matches up to how we want to live and what we want to do. Again, it may not be the same for everybody else, this is just our preference. Now we'll get into number 3, which is, for us, the cost of living in an RV is cheaper. Or at least we think we can accomplish this cheaper. We did do a trial run for about 5 or 6 months, living in one campground, not moving around a lot. So that would be one difference. But, just the price of the campground versus the price of our mortgage and what we're paying here, would be, it was just a whole lot cheaper versus electricity versus everything else. Now, granted, you're sacrificing a lot of space, going from, we live in about a 2,600 square foot home now, so going from that down to, I don't know, 200 to 300 square foot RV. But, that's just part of it. And that also makes it simpler. It's a lot easier to manage 300 square foot than 2,600 square feet. So, that's another case, and then granted, there's give and take on both sides. So, but for the most part, for us, will be cheaper, we think, and we're going to budget all this out. And as I go forward with these videos, I'll share that as well. But we think we can make this happen actually for probably 50% less than our current living lifestyle. Just give you a good example, when I was staying in Knoxville, my power bill here sometimes will be as high as the whole lot rent down there, which in that place, which was Raccoon Valley in Knoxville, Tennessee, or just outside of Knoxville in Haskell, Tennessee. But it actually was $350 a month, and that included my electricity. And during the really hot summer months here in East Tennessee, or the really cold winter months when we get hit with those, my electric bill could be pretty close to that sometimes. So, that was just one good example. And granted, I know that's going to fluctuate up and down as we move around, but I think overall we can definitely accomplish that. And once we get more comfortable with this, we want to move out and start doing a lot more boondocking as well. And of course, with that, I think we'll even, be able to capitalize on more cost savings. But we'll see, and all that will be budgeted, and I will share that as we go forward. So that was number 3. It's just, we think that we can make this cheaper for our life and, be able to save more money back, or have more money to spend on the stuff that we want to. So with that said, now we will jump into number 2. And number 2 was, for us, this will give us more time to see the areas that we're wanting to go into, as opposed to, like I say, with me flying out to a consulting gig. I'll get to go out in the evenings and see stuff. But by the weekends, I'm back home. And also, even if you take a week-long vacation, you're trying to cram everything into a week. And for me, that's just, that's great. But, a lot of times, I'm sure a lot of people will say this, a week-long vacation can be a lot more stress than just going to work. A lot of times people will come back and, the old saying I hear is, yeah, I've got to go back to work to take a break. So, and I understand that, because when you're trying to cram, as much as you can see in an area into a week, that can get pretty hardcore, pretty rough, very, just very stressful, very unresting. So with this, we're hoping, hey, we go to a place, if we want to stay for a while, okay, we'll stay, even if we're only set up to stay for 2 weeks, if we really like it, we'll stay for a month, or, if we really like it, we'll stay for a couple of months. I know, like, for me, I'm planning to eventually head out to Arizona, because, as if you're watching RV videos, you see the Arizona area is just absolutely awesome. There's a lot of stuff to see, so I know I can't go see everything in 2 weeks. So, with that, I'll extend my stays out there and, just kind of stay in the area longer. So, obviously, when you're doing a week-long trip, you're particularly going to one hardcore destination, say Disney World, and a lot of times, you'll get to see Disney World for that week, but even that, you'll miss out on some stuff. You can't cram everything in, even in Disney World, into a week, let alone going around and seeing the whole area around Disney World, like going into Orlando, or different areas like that. So, to me, this allows more time, less stress. You're able, like I say, you're able to, again, you're able to take pets with you, so you don't have to worry about that stress. I just think it is a whole lot better setup as opposed to flying in or driving in trying to cram everything in. So that's some of the stuff. And like I say again, with this, you got all your stuff with you, so all your belongings are with you, so you're not forgetting anything. If you're forgetting something and you're living in your RV full time, then you've got bigger problems. Apparently, you've left something pretty important behind, or if it's something that can't be replaced pretty quick, then that's that's just not good. But overall, like I say, I just think the convenience of it. Granted, you're going to have travel days, and I've been through a couple of travel days now, and travel days are hard. But the overall outcome, I think, is worth the hassle to get to the destination. And I love to drive too, so that's even that much better for me. But getting set up, making sure everything goes good, that can be very hard. But overall, like I say, the final payoff to me is well worth the setup and just getting there. And with that said, we will now jump into number one. And number one is just simply freedom. It's freedom of not being tied down to one location. It's the freedom of, if you do like somewhere, and as long as you can work out a campground, you may have to switch campgrounds or something, but you can stay in the area generally longer. Or if you get somewhere that you think, hey, I'm going to love this, and it doesn't pay off. For example, if you go on a week-long trip and it's somewhere that you end up not liking, you're there for a week. And you've paid a lot of money to either drive or fly out there. In our case now, if we get somewhere and we're there for a week or two and we decide, we don't like something, then we pick up and we have a travel day, and we, find somewhere new that, we think we're going to like better. So, that's one of the big pluses. And we've lived in a house. Now we live in we've got about an acre of land. It's a little bit more of a farmhouse, but, we've also experienced bad neighbors. So, in our last place that we lived, we had bad neighbors on one side of us, and we had to deal with that for 10 years, and it wasn't easy just to pick up and leave the house. I mean, if you do that, then, you can't sell a house very fast, or I guess you can in some cases, but, it's harder to sell a house. It's harder to, pick your neighbors when you live in a sticks and bricks house. And, now with this new setup that we're going to have, if you don't like your neighbors, move to another spot. If you're at a campground and you don't like it, hit another spot. Or if you don't like the area, again, hit another spot. It's not a big deal. So for me, it's just the freedom of being able to make more decisions and not be tied down to one set location without a lot of hassle trying to get out of it. And again, like I said, we did this for about 6 months, and we really loved it. And I'll tell you, the part of the freedom thing that I really like too is the other people that are living in this. The community of the RV life is absolutely spectacular. When I was in Knoxville, my battery died on my coach, and it was very hard to change out. And there's actually a video on that if you want to link back and look at it. But I had a neighbor across the street come over and help me, get the battery in, get the battery out. But the whole RV community it just seems to be like that it's very good. I just love the whole people in the community here. It's really been excellent. It's like having good neighbors in every state. So that's another big plus. But, so this is the first Camper Life Top 5. I hope you enjoy this. I hope, for friends and family, it answers some questions, or for anybody looking to get into this lifestyle, it helps answer some questions, as to, if people are asking you why, this may give you some insight that you can tell them. But with all that said, I will let you go. The last thing I will say, if you like this video, if you like what this channel is bringing to you, please ask that you hit that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps it get seen more. I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate your time in watching this video. Hopefully you like the Camper Life Top 5, and there should be more of these coming around, you know, budgets, around getting your house ready to sell, you know, what it's like getting ready to go. But, so I've got a couple ideas going around this one, and then, of course, we'll have some more DIY videos coming up very soon. And again, I thank y'all, and we will see you in the next video or somewhere down the road. Thank you.